Some people destroy their lives with bad decisions. Others destroy them with something much quieter, a memory they refuse to let go, a moment from the past that keeps replaying in their mind. What someone said, what someone did, what should have happened instead. Years pass, new opportunities appear, new relationships begin, but the past still sits in the same place, controlling reactions, shaping decisions, poisoning the present. And the dangerous part is this: the person who caused the original problem often moved on long ago, but the resentment stayed. And sometimes the only life it truly damages is the one still holding it. Resentment grows in a very specific way. At first it feels like protection. The mind believes it is holding on to the memory so the same situation will never happen again. If someone hurt you, remember it. If someone betrayed you, never forget. It sounds like wisdom. But something else slowly happens. The mind stops using the memory as information and begins using it as identity. The story becomes part of how a person sees the world. People are untrustworthy. Relationships are dangerous. Kindness hides bad intentions. And when those beliefs settle in, they start influencing every new situation. A neutral comment feels like disrespect. A small disagreement feels like betrayal. A misunderstanding feels like proof that the past was right all along. Instead of protecting the future, resentment quietly begins rewriting it. Because when the past becomes the lens through which everything is interpreted, the present never gets the chance to be different. Consider a relationship that ended badly. Two people who once trusted each other. Something happened. Maybe a betrayal. Maybe a painful argument. Maybe a moment where one person walked away. The relationship ended, but the resentment did not. Years later, the memory is still there. Not as a distant lesson, but as something alive. Every new relationship is measured against that old experience. When someone takes longer to reply, it feels suspicious. When someone cancels plans, it feels disrespectful. When someone makes a mistake, it feels like proof that people never change. But the new person in front of them is not the person from the past. The situation is different. The intentions are different. Yet resentment does something powerful. It convinces the mind that protecting itself means expecting the worst. And sometimes, a relationship that could have been healthy is slowly damaged not by what the other person did, but by a wound that someone else created long ago. Resentment can also grow inside families. Imagine someone who felt overlooked while growing up. Maybe a sibling received more attention. Maybe one parent was more supportive toward another child. The imbalance may have been small, or it may have simply felt that way at the time. But the interpretation stayed. Years later, the person is still carrying the same story. Every family gathering becomes uncomfortable. Every comment sounds like criticism. Every success of the sibling feels like confirmation that the old imbalance still exists. The past becomes the reference point for every interaction. Instead of seeing who their family members are today, they keep reacting to who they remember them being years ago. And the tragic part is this: the family may have changed. People grow, people mature, people regret things they once did. But resentment freezes the past in place. It refuses to update the story. And because of that, some people end up losing relationships that might have slowly healed if the past had not been allowed to control the present. Resentment often appears in professional life as well. Imagine someone who was once overlooked for a promotion. They worked hard. They believed their effort would be recognized, but the opportunity went to someone else. Maybe it was unfair. Maybe it was simply a decision made by management. Either way, the moment stayed in their memory. At first, it felt like motivation. They told themselves they would work even harder. But over time, the feeling slowly changed. Every new decision at work began to look suspicious. When a colleague succeeded, it felt undeserved. When management made a choice, it felt like another injustice. Gradually, the job stopped feeling like a place to grow. It became a place where resentment was constantly reinforced. And something dangerous started happening. The person stopped investing energy into improvement. They stopped trusting opportunities. They stopped believing that effort could change anything. Not because growth was impossible, but because resentment convinced them that the outcome had already been decided. Resentment feels powerful in the moment. It feels like strength, like refusing to forget, like refusing to be taken advantage of again. But resentment rarely punishes the people who caused it. Most of the time, they moved on long ago. They continued their lives. They forgot the moment that still lives in someone else's mind. The only life that remains connected to that memory is the one holding on to it. And that is the quiet danger of resentment. It ties the present to a moment that already ended. Opportunities appear, but they are filtered through old pain. Relationships begin, but they are judged by old wounds. Decisions are made, not based on what is happening now, but based on what happened once. Letting go does not mean saying that the past was acceptable. It means refusing to allow the past to control what comes next. Because the future cannot grow in a mind that is still living inside an old story.